mind runs on a hidden operating system, but 99% of people never notice it. You're trained how to think, what to believe, what to fear. But no one ever shows you how to break the code. There's a genius-level mental hack inside this system, and when you activate it, you don't just think faster. You see things no one else does. In this video, I'll give you that hack. You use it once, and you'll start spotting the difference between people who are just thinking and people who are rewriting the game. From a young age, you were taught to memorize not to think. You followed rules, repeated what you were told, and got praised for staying inside the lines. But over time, those rules became mental habits. You stopped questioning. You started reacting automatically. And without noticing, your mind got stuck in a loop, a pattern built by others. Most people never break free. They stay inside the loop forever, living a life that feels normal, but never truly theirs. But here's the truth. The loop is not your mind. It's just the cage it was trained to live in. And the moment you see it, you can escape it. You're not here to repeat. You're here to think freely. And that's where your power begins. Most people live in reaction mode. They chase, they copy, they respond without thinking. But the top 1%, they do something very different. They pause when others rush. They zoom out when others zoom in. They don't just play the game, they study it, then rewrite the rules. These are high-level thinkers. They don't get distracted by noise. They move with calm, strategy, and precision. They're the people you secretly admire, the ones who always seem 10 steps ahead. And here's the twist. They're not born with magic. They use a mental hack, a shift in how they see the world. And today, you'll learn it too. Because once you apply it, you won't just think smarter, you'll start thinking like them. Here's the hack that shifts everything. The mental contrast hack. It begins in a single moment. You're triggered. You feel irritated, judged, insecure. Your heart races. Your brain lights up with a familiar reaction. But this time, you do something different. You pause. You don't react blindly. You ask yourself one powerful question. Is this thought really mine? Or was it planted by someone else? That question slices through the noise. It's a mental blade. It forces your brain to wake up. Because most of the thoughts you carry, and they didn't come from you. They came from school, from parents, from social media, from a system that benefits when you don't think deeply. And yet, every time you ask that question, if you reclaim a piece of your mind, you stop living in the loop. You stop playing a role written by others. You start becoming a thinker, a builder, a designer of your own code. Genius doesn't start with knowing. It starts with questioning. And in that pause, or that 1 second moment of awareness, if you begin to rewrite the rules, that's where your power is. That's where the real shift begins. Every time you pause the loop, every time you question, instead of react, your brain begins to change. Literally. It's called cognitive override. When your conscious mind steps in and interrupts the automatic patterns, you're no longer running on survival mode. You're no longer stuck in reaction. You begin to operate from creation mode. That's when something incredible happens. Your brain starts forming new pathways. New connections spark. New insights appear like flashes of light in a place that used to be dark. And suddenly, thoughts get clearer. Emotions feel lighter. Fear doesn't control you anymore. Why? Because now, you're not reacting from your past. You're choosing your future. You're not replaying old code. If you're writing new instructions, You're not just thinking differently. You're building a new mind. And the more you practice it, the more your old self fades. The passive, programmed version, and something new begins to wake up inside you. A version of you that's aware, intentional, powerful. That's the real you. And it's been waiting to be activated. How to spot the programmed? Look closely at the world around you. People who mock deep thinking, who follow every trend without asking why, who get defensive the moment you challenge them. They're not thinking, they're running a program. It's automatic, conditioned. They speak in recycled opinions. They react without reflection. But here's the powerful part. Once you see it in them, you'll start to notice it in yourself, in your thoughts, your habits, even your fears. And that's not a weakness. That's your awakening. The moment you catch the program, you begin to rewrite it. That's when your real growth begins. Not by being perfect, but by being aware. Why most stay stuck? The harsh truth? Most people never break free. Not because they can't, but because they're afraid of what happens if they do. It's not failure they fear. It's power, their own power. Because owning your mind, thinking independently, and questioning the world around you, and that's uncomfortable. It's lonely. It separates you from the crowd. And most people crave comfort more than truth. They want to feel safe, accepted, and normal. So they obey the system. They copy others. They silence their inner voice just to fit in. They stay stuck because freedom means change. And change is terrifying when you've built your whole identity around doing what you're told. They mock deep thinkers. They avoid silence. They distract themselves endlessly. Why? Because real awareness would force them to confront how much of their life has been lived on autopilot. But here's the paradox. The very discomfort they run from is the door to the life they actually want. Yes, awareness is painful. Yes, it isolates you, but it also unlocks clarity, strength, and peace. And if you're still watching this video, and that means you're already different, you're not running, you're starting to see. And once you see, and you can never unsee. Recode your mind today. This hack isn't just about intelligence. It's about mental freedom. Most people go through life thinking they're in control, but they're not. They're reacting. They're following scripts they never chose. What you've learned in this video isn't some trick to feel smart for a moment. It's a shift, a reset button for your brain. And the tool is simple. Pause. Ask yourself, is this thought mini-error? Was it planted? That's all it takes to disrupt years of programming, to stop the mental autopilot, to gain real control over your reactions, your beliefs, your choices. Try it once today. If this woke something up inside you, even just a flicker of awareness, imagine what's waiting in the next video. Subscribe now and start building the kind of mind that thinks deeper, moves sharper, and cannot be controlled. Because once you start seeing clearly, and there's no going back.